MIT may not be known for its sports teams, but it's where you'll find some world-class cyclists looking to perfect their aerodynamic posture to make their riding performance go to the next level. On this week's Spotlight on Sports Innovation, Shining City goes inside MIT's famed wind tunnel.
In a corner of MIT in Cambridge, in a nondescript building, sits one of the great tools used to help cyclists everywhere. The Wright brothers wind tunnel.
The Wright brothers wind tunnel at MIT has been here since it was commissioned in 1937, actually. So it's been around for a long time. One can imagine at that point in time it was heavily focused on designing of aircraft for World War II.
In the years since, the wind tunnel has been used in many ways, including testing golf balls, helping figure out why windows in the John Hancock building were falling out, even testing wind patterns for Fenway Park. Now, it's part of sports innovation at MIT.
We started the program in 1999. The program was started to give students a more hands-on experience with the innovation process. We decided to focus on sports products because sports products are typically a little bit smaller, more compact, not as technically involved as, say, aircraft or automotive. And it would allow students within an academic year to actually start with a concept and have a prototype by the end of the school year.
And those students get to use a pretty cool piece of machinery.
I think there is kind of a wow factor seeing the wind tunnel in action. It's, like I said, the motor draws 2,000 horsepower, so when it turns on there's a heavy clang. And in fact, we have to call the MIT power plant every time before we turn it on, just as a heads up. We've not done that once or twice during summer air conditioning season and brought down a good chunk of campus, which was not a popular decision, except maybe with the students.
The sport that takes the most advantage of the Wright brothers wind tunnel? Cycling.
Where that fits in the sports innovation program is that there's a lot of sports, particularly high-speed sports, where aerodynamics is a very crucial part of the sport. And even a 5% improvement in aerodynamics can make the difference between medaling and not medaling if we're in the Olympics or any type of competition.
Have you in there? Try to stay as slow as you can.
And with winds inside the tunnel reaching up to 150 miles per hour, it certainly can test the limits of a cyclist's ability.
I walked in there, I was like walking in the middle of a hurricane. Kind of felt like I was like launching off a ski jump or something, but it was pretty cool.
As the cyclist rides, information is gathered by computers about his efficiency, aerodynamics, and other factors that will be used to adjust and tweak the cyclist's form, which can eventually lead to better results in races.
By going down about a centimeter and a half, we gained 3 or 4%. By adjusting the cyclist's position or changing the equipment, then we can reduce that drag force, and therefore the cyclist can either go faster for the same power output or go the same speed and conserve power for a later point in the race. So what I'm saying is if you stretch the whole thing forward, then so your natural position is back here.
I learned that having your hands on the outside of the bars actually costs a lot more than I thought, so staying in that tucked position even on the climbs is important. And also just little things like where your hands are adds up in that seconds, which can mean a big difference at the end.
That information will be targeted directly to them. They will then take a look at that information and we will put them in what we can consider to be the lowest aerodynamic drag position possible through a variety of steps. So they'll have a list of information of changes we've made to their position, for example, and how much that's decreased their drag. And then it's up to them to go back and say, okay, I really can't ride this position, I lose too much power. And they're allowed then to make decisions. So it's providing them a sheet of information for them to optimize their performance.